Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to welcome everybody from St. John's School and Little Canada Elementary School today, along with all the other folks that are here to help us with our Arbor Day celebration. My name is Jim Moreland. I'm the Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Little Canada. And we've got several other people here that are going to either speak to us a little bit about Arbor Day or some other special guests from the city. We've got Mayor Bill Blazner back here, who will be doing a little speaking a little bit later. We have our Park and Recreation Commissioners. We have Pam Davis here, who will be speaking a little bit, and Linda Fahey in the back from our Park and Recreation Commission. Some people probably snuck in on me, and I'm not going to miss them. I'm going to miss someone probably, but we have the Little Canada Historical Society represented. My mother, Leona Moreland, here from the History Center. And we have some of city staff here, of course, who really did all the work. We have, first of all, Vanessa Van Alstyne, who's doing the videotaping of this program today. We have Derek Anderson, who really did all the work in helping dig the holes for the trees and pick up the trees, etc., and getting the grounds ready. And Jessica Jago, who has the most important job here. She's in charge of the cookies and lemonade. We'll go through a few speakers and then we'll plant these trees. We've got two trees here. They happen to be bur oak trees, and we're going to pretty much assign one of those trees to Little Canada School, the fourth graders there, and the other one back here will be pretty much St. John's tree when things are all done. So we encourage you kids, after they're planted, to come back here at times and take care of them when you see they maybe need a little bit of water. There's a hand pump right up here at this park shelter. If you come down here to visit with your parents, you can bring a pail of water down here and give them a little drink. And hopefully over the years you'll watch them grow up and get about as big as some of the other ones that we see around us here. So I'd like to bring up Mayor Bill Blazner, and he'll kind of open things up and say a few words to you. So Mayor Blazner.
Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everybody and thank you for coming today. I guess it looks like probably all the years that I've been doing this, this is going to be a beautiful day for celebrating our Arbor Day and planting the trees. We've had some cool weather before, and I think a little mist one day, so today is going to really be nice. I noticed on my thermometer coming here it was about 70 degrees, so pretty nice day. How is everybody today? Oh, you're looking good. Are you being good in school and stuff? Yeah, I would imagine so. Are you happy to be outside and away from your school studies for a little while? Yeah, I would be too, so. No? Oh, okay. Today I'm going to leave talking about Arbor Day to the people that know a lot more about it than I do. That would be Mr. Sanders, our park consultant, and Miss Davis, our our Parks and Rec Commission member. So when they get up here, they'll let you know a lot more about Arbor Day and what the parks and things like that. So I noticed on the agenda that we're going to have entertainment again this year from our classes. That's always very entertaining, and I know they're very talented because I've heard, like I say, I've heard in the last 3 or 4 years. So that's going to be very good for us to listen to. So. But again, I'm not going to talk about Arbor Day. I'm just here to welcome everybody. So I would again like to welcome everyone, say thank you for coming, and I would now introduce Bill Sanders, our park consultant. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and good afternoon to everyone. And welcome to Spooner Park. This park that we see here behind us is the first major park in the city of Little Canada. And this park was developed about 30 years ago. It was originally purchased by the school district as a possible site for a new school. And after a number of years of using the land for a park, the city was able to buy this land for a permanent park. And so we've developed a lot of walking trails, picnic facilities, play areas, a lot of things on this land that has made it really a wonderful park. And part of the important part of this park are the trees and the landscape that are that you see here. It's really a beautiful site, and one of the important things too is that it's connected to other parks. And this Jarvis Mill waterway that you see behind you here is that link between Spooner Park and Jarvis Mill Park, which is a little walk down the trail. Many of you have probably taken that walk before. But it's a great walk. These parks are connected by this green space, and there's a lot of birds and wildlife that also use this green corridor that connects the parks. So one of our projects for the Park Commission has been connecting our parks and connecting our trails. And so we've developed a lot of new trails in the past couple of years, and these all provide good access to all of us to be able to enjoy the outdoors. The trees that you're going to help plant today are bur oak trees. You can see them over here. And the bur oak is really a very important native tree. This tree was perhaps the most important of our native landscape here in Little Canada over 100 years ago. And this tree lives in a lot of different situations. It thrives in a lot of different soils and different conditions. And with the right conditions, this tree will live a couple of 100 years or more. So I think with your help in planting these trees today, you'll be able to come back year after year and for your entire lifetime enjoy seeing how these trees grow and mature. With that, I'll introduce Pam Davis, who will talk to you more about what's going on here. So, Pam?
Hi everybody, it's great to see you all. This is the first time I've been here for this event, and I'm thrilled to see so many of you. I'm going to be asking you a tree question, but before I do, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my background so it makes sense about this question I'm going to ask you. So be prepared for my question. I am a neighbor. I live right over here, and I'm also a Parks Commission. I'm an artist, and I have a studio in my home. Prior to being an artist, I was a scientist. My scientific work involved taking care of our natural resources, of which trees are a really important part of that. As a matter of fact, if you go down the end of this trail to the new Watershed District office, has everybody heard of the Watershed District office? Have any of you been there? Well, you should give them a call because they'd love to have visitors. And while you're there, you can see one of my art pieces. I weave tapestries. And there's a big tapestry on the wall in there that shows the importance of a raindrop. It's a huge raindrop, and how the raindrop goes through the different cycles, falling into the soil, nourishing the lakes and the trees, and then it evaporates and go up. My question to you: trees are so important. They connect the land and the earth to the sky, which is the combination I do with my artistic work. I bring the science into the more creative, spiritual aspect. My question to you: do you know what a pulse is? Anybody want to tell me? Anybody can speak up.
It's the heartbeat, the race of your heartbeat.
Right. It's your heartbeat, and it's hearing, and it's the pace of your heart. Where can you measure your heartbeat? In the red shirt?
Right here.
So it's right there. Can you all either put a finger on your own or on your neighbor's wrist, or some of you touched your neck? Can you feel that? Can you feel your heart pounding? So your heart keeps your body alive. What do you think in a tree the heart can be compared to? Yes.
The roots.
The roots. Perfect. That's exactly right. The roots are the whole heart of the tree. Sometimes it's hard to remember that because once this tree is planted, you're never going to see the roots again. They're buried underground and you'll never ever again know how important those roots are because you can't see them. Why are the roots so important? How come they're the life source? Yes. Go ahead.
The roots start from a seed.
Yes, they're start from a seed initially. Anything else? Yes.
They suck up water for the trees.
Yes. So not only do they grow from a seed, which is, where your heart is then pumping everything through your body, they also go deep into the ground and they bring up the water and the nutrients. So the nutrients and all these different things that we have in our soil feed that tree. The tree brings it up through the roots up into all its branches. So what goes on the land and underneath it is just as important to what we plant the tree and what is up on top around it.
Thank you, Pam.
You're welcome.
Nice job. I think we are ready, though, to go into the different parts of the program that you kids put together for us. And I will ask Little Canada Elementary School to get it started. And next, I believe you'll be doing 3-note blues? And finally, we have the Earth Day wrap.
The sky is high and the ocean is deep, but we can treat the planet like a garbage heap. Don't wreck it, protect it, keep part of it wild, and think about the future of your great-grandchild. Recycle, bicycle, don't you drive by yourself. Don't buy those plastic products on the supermarket shelf. Boycott, petition, let the big business know that if we mess it up, here's where else we can go. Don't shrug your shoulders, say, what can I do? Only one person can do it, and that person is you. The sky is high and the ocean is deep, but we can't treat the planet like a garbage heap. Don't wreck it, protect it, keep part of it wild, and think about the future of your great-grandchild. Recycle, bicycle, don't you drive by yourself. Don't buy those plastic products on the supermarket shelf. Boycott, petition, let the big business know that if we mess it up here, there's nowhere else we can go. Don't shrug your shoulders to say, what can I do? Only one person can do it, and that person is you.
Nice job. And I failed earlier to introduce Laura Sharp, who is the music instructor at Little Can Elementary and helped these kids with that program. Next, we have St. John's School, and with the help of Mr. Lofsted, they are going to sing Plant, Plant, Plant a Tree.
Plant, plant, plant a tree. What will it be for? The birds and me, the honeybee, and oh so many more. Plant, plant, plant a tree. What will it provide? Beauty, shade, and animal homes, a place for me to hide.
And next we have We're Planting a Tree.
The sunbeams are twinkling, the air soft and free. It's telling a message to you and to me. Come out, we're planting a tree. Come out, let's all plant a tree. Now it is slender, no taller than I. It soon will be growing straight up to the sky. A tree that reaches so high. A tree that touches the sky.
Very nice, nice work, thank you. I'd also like to recognize we've got a group from Little Canada Elementary. All the first graders are not part of the actual program, but wanted to come out and help us and view our Arbor Day celebration too. So, will all the first graders in the back row here stand up? We can maybe get you a shot on camera and your parents can see and make sure you were here. Thank you for coming. Next, I think we're just about ready to wrap up here. We do have a couple trees to plant. And again, I think I mentioned we're going to have this one here assigned to the fourth graders from Little Canada Elementary. The one back here will be Mrs. Aguirre's class from St. John's. And they're pretty heavy and we're going to need a little assistance. So Derek Anderson from our park maintenance staff is going to help us get them in the holes to start with, and then you kids can just start putting the dirt around them and tamping it down as you go. And Derek, why don't we just take one tree at a time here, because it is going to take some work for Derek. Maybe he could, maybe you could commandeer a couple of the bigger kids in each class there, Derek, to give you a hand to get them in the hole. Then everybody else can kind of shovel them in when you're done. So a Little Canada School tree here first. Let's take this one first. I'll pick Matt. He can help. I know your dad wouldn't pick you, Matt, so I felt sorry for you.
Me? Me too?
Sure. You can go too.
All right, how big and strong are you guys? Pretty heavy.
We'll kind of get them started in the ground so they're pretty much straight up in the air, so they got a good start for the future.
Actually, who knows, instead of the word dirt, who knows another word? Anybody? Right here. Speak it out. Soil. That is important soil. That's all the nutrients going into that tree.
Leave your recorders here so they can find the plant. Just form a line in one person at a time. Don't shuttle it in the tree.
Don't bury Derek.
Everybody will get a turn, so don't push, just wait your turn.
Okay, Derek, you think you got that one pretty well set? We need like about 3 kids from St. John's.
Guys, she wants you to make your line going out.
Let's take a couple of these girls over on this side here, Derek.
Just flip your line around over to the girl. Take the line up the other way.
Which one's mine?
Kids, as you went through and taken your turn and helping to plant the tree, you can all go up toward the park shelter up here. We have cookies and lemonade up there. And the first graders, you can get your groups together and head up there whenever you like. And like I say, as you kids get done with your tree duties, you'll be real thirsty from all that work. You can go up and get some lemonade and a cookie. And as soon as I mention lemonade and cookies, that's usually about the end of the program. I should have wrapped it up before that because they all run for cookies. So thank you all for coming, and all the adults too, we've got cookies for you too, so stop by and have one.